Welcome to the Game of Risk, everyone. I'm your host, OliveXC, a top player at this game. And today on Tutor Tuesday, I'm going to be reviewing a game from C Money, a Grandmaster ranked Risk player. Here he is right here. Let's focus on the man, myth, and legend himself. And let's look at these blizzards, everyone. A 1-point hold over Africa and Spain. A 1-point hold through here, through Noob Corner. With a blizzard here, here, and here, there's a 2-point choke over half the map. This is some of the most ridiculous blizzards I have ever freaking seen. I love the yellow player's pick going for here. C-Money makes a very interesting choice for himself where he does not cap here. This could have worked really well for him because the map would have been split down in two, right? Yellow and green would have controlled the whole map. However, yellow would have good position across the left-hand side of the board. We also already know that the white player is here and will be contesting eventually for Eastern Europe. What C-Money, the green player, is hoping for is that no one is going to be capped behind him in the West Africa bonus. And then they're going to be able to really expand, take over their left-hand corner of the map, and get strong for themselves. The one risk here is because your capital's stuck right here, you can easily get card blocked if someone places a big stack down in France on the Gascony territory of the board. Also, someone eventually is going to have the 1-point hold over the noob corner, and they'll be getting an equivalent number of troops, but have more mobility than you. And let's not forget about the yellow player. If they manage to defeat white, they're going to be able to hold this entire middle portion of the board with one capital and one extra territory here. This is actually crazy. Yellow, I think, makes a good move. He's basically taking advantage of this Germany bonus. He's placing a lot of troops down to ensure that no one breaks him and takes it. White, I think, is also making an excellent move, taking over a large amount of territory on the board, but not so much where they're going to get rolled down. So C-Money going last here. I love how he's using the slider to minimize his losses. He does lose a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. I would have attacked downwards here to hit out the purple one, because now you're not guaranteed to take this out. And it looks like he's trying to take out the yellow player. He leaves one yellow spot here, so yellow could try to ruin C-Money's day, because he got very lucky. Nobody is in Africa right now. But if C-Money ended up only having a 6 on his capital, with the yellow player guaranteed to be having Germany, this 3 could have potentially rolled down and taken them out. So I like waiting a little bit. Still, though, I think the risk may have been worth it because you probably need to wait another 2 turns before you get your bonus, and that gives an opportunity for someone to snowball with the right chance for themselves. The one thing I'm a little confused about is where all the other players are located. Maybe because nobody capped here, because someone going for a 2-point hold over 3 bonuses, that could have been a very strong play. Maybe someone's going for Italy, but probably I would guess 2 players are going for noob corner right now. We knew purple was here in the beginning, but I don't really see where like blue and pink are. They're getting a little bit. Now we're seeing blue down here, but we're not seeing where else blue's attacking from. So is there like 3 players up there? Like that doesn't really make sense. Like maybe blue just has a silly cap down here in the Orient. Figuring out that play and where your opponents are is key. But with crazy honeypots like this, with strong 1-point overwhelming guards, you just never know what may happen here. Yellow, though, is confirmed to be getting 10. So I think yellow is in a really good spot. They're taking advantage of their blizzards and the strong potential to grow powerful with their setup. But at the same time, they're not doing something that immediately becomes apparently dangerous at all. But I also really love what the white player is also doing. Sometimes when people are fighting for these crazy honeypot bonuses on the board, right? There's crazy imbalance everywhere. Just taking somewhere off on the side for yourself is really good. But now that white is seeing that people are getting strong, he takes out white first. So I love what green is doing with this move. He's also making sure to be clearing out the other players. And he's actually getting really lucky dice. Not losing anything over 5 territories is actually pretty crazy. It's actually pretty crazy to be able to get this effective with your strategy. It's still going to be taking one more turn to take over the bonus. However, you're most likely going to be getting 6 per turn. If yellow hasn't rolled you before, most likely they're not going to be rolling you again. And purple is only getting 3 and pink 12. So it looks like the pink player has rolled down the purple player. So if I had to guess, pink was probably in Iceland, purple in Ireland, and blue, I'm guessing, is in like the Orient area right here. Unless blue with the number of troops has Scandinavia, but that would imply 3 caps up here. That would be pretty insane if that was the case, to have all these new players fighting over this. The fact that we had no vision of noob corners, both a blessing and a curse, it means we're not losing a large number of troops in the beginning. We lack the visibility and the strategy to know what our opponents are potentially doing. But it looks like yellow got invaded, right? Notice how they immediately attacked into Germany again. They got 9, so they are still getting some territory right now. It's still anybody's game to see how people deal fighting for these honeypots while balancing the strength on their capitals. Yellow is kind of keeping themselves a little weaker than what I would like to be, but I think yellow's long-term position is really good right now. And I love what our protagonist C Money is doing. This is why he's a top Grandmaster player. This is a perfect move right now. 1, he solidifies his bonus with a guaranteed 4v1. 2, he gets out of the way, establishing good relations with the yellow player. And then 3, he's keeping his capital as strong as possible, so no one can roll it down. He'll be getting these guaranteed troops now the rest of this game. And as long as this game does not go ultra late game, he can have an incredible opportunity for himself to grow very strong right here. Pink now sees the green player's bonus. But again, not much they can do. Purple now, as they are a bot and they gave up because we're playing with automated bots right now, it does look like C Money will be losing his stack. It was a little unlucky that the purple bot chose to go for that area. Since purple was leaving most of their troops originally within the Ireland area of the board, this means that purple probably is just within Eastern Europe and maybe a little bit within the Orient. And now we see blue attacking here. Blue is leaving the vast majority of their troops off capital because we see all these large stacks lying around. Since blue has consistently been getting a large number of troops per turn, this is kind of crazy for me to think about, but I think they're actually in Scandinavia. So somehow pink is holding back blue while still holding all these areas of the board down. Blue, if they get removed off of their exteriors, is not going to have much strategy or hope for themselves this game. So C Money has now lost most of exteriors, besides of what he has in the Orient and Africa. If he can take over Africa, I think he'll be in a really good spot. And what's also interesting, yellow is now going into the white player. I think this was a really bad move of the yellow player to do this, because yellow was getting a little bit hit from before. The pink player really only has one way to go into, right? Which is yellow. And white also kind of has only one place to go. But white had a long time to really get and establish their position. They could have looked to take over like the Orient. Blue could have potentially been going into white. If I'm yellow, I'm trying to preserve my troops and my overall position. Now we see a nice move again by protagonist C Money. He's going for this. I would have put 9 troops originally there, because if he lost a troop, a 6v3 could fail. Like, you need to do that move in one swoop. Still, though, that was over a 95% chance that that play was going to work out. And again, you want to keep your capital safe. With a 19 on board and all these low number troops capitals, this is making me believe that majority of my opponents are actually pretty weak right now. Not the strongest players, and just keeping myself strong and prioritizing removing players when it's worth it for their cards is the best thing that can be done right now. Blue is now getting 13. So blue has 2 bonuses. Since we know that pink is within this area of the board and attacking downwards here, we know that yellow is in this area. Blue most likely has the Scandinavia and this part of the Cascades. Blue is also staying good neighbor to the green player, which I think is a good play. C Money will gladly work with blue as long as blue doesn't go into them. If I'm blue, I'm trying to remain as good neighbor as possible because most likely wherever their capital is, either it's in a silly place in the Orient or is looking more likely somehow in Noob Corner. If they lose their exteriors, they lose the game. They have to balance protecting their capital while also keeping their exteriors alive to get more troops. White now trades in, and it looks like they're probably going to be going into the yellow player for retaliation from like before. Yellow's still getting 11 because they have a 2-point hold over Germany, but all of yellow's troops right now are going into yellow, right? So white and yellow are basically in conflict. Pink is kind of uninhibited, but might be dealing with some damage from blue. So what I really like about C Money's position is that no one is really going for them. I also wonder because of how much... Now we can see a really interesting point, by the way. White came from this direction. As, by the way, C Money recognizes the going for the kill there, which I think is super important. Those extra cards, giving you one card ahead, really helps propel you. Puts you a little bit earlier in the trade order, but having that first round to really attack players before the big trade-ins come is a critical part of the game. So I think that's really important what they're doing right now. He does remove yellow. I don't know if that was necessary, but I guess because yellow was strong, he doesn't want to give the vision. So really, the second round of training is going to be the most important part for C Money. He needs to find a way to be able to go and take out these players. There is pink. What is pink doing right now? They're just taking over all this extra territory. But the second that you saw green there, you're just wasting troops, right? Like, pink is super strong right now, getting all of these bonuses. But their expansion potential is really limited. I'd be focusing more on preserving troops where I can. And now blue, it making a really bad move where they're choosing to be attacking C Money. That's really bad because now you see a huge stack there. Because again, we knew that white was attacking before from this direction. We know that blue must be somewhere trapped in Noob Corner fighting with pink. If they lose their exteriors, they're in a lot of trouble. At the same time, because this game was still early on, it's going to be a while before C Money can eventually get blocked in for themselves off of Gascony. And I don't know if these opponents have the ability to really do anything about it. Since we know that yellow and white are conflict and are constantly being enemies with each other, I think there's a great opportunity for the green player to just go gung-ho, bazinga, bam, into the blue player. Like, just full send into them. The only thing we have to consider is, does the green player choose to trade in, or do they choose to wait and hold the set? There's options with either here. And by the way, even the 100% roll, losing 15 troops is highly unlucky here. There is one bad move, though, C Money makes. He knew that blue was defending their borders from before, so I would have stopped attacking from Greece rather than going to one extra territory, because you don't want to have more troops available. So I would have stayed on Greece. This is, I think, like the first minor error that has been made. But now blue does decide to trade in here. So now the green player is going to be getting a larger set. In terms of trading in versus not trading in, it's really hard to say what is or is not like the right move. Because since C Money's guaranteed to be getting a trade in now, he's going to be able to attack, but he's going to have to go all the way around the map. Also, because the blue player is placing all of their troops outwards to be attacking and taking over the Cascades, North Africa, and Orient, they're going to have very little on capital. Once the pink player eventually trades in, they can potentially snipe out the blue player's capital and making them a sitting target to get eliminated eventually, as they wasted so many troops from attacking green. Blue needed a strategy this game of going hard against pink to limit them and their expansion growth, taking advantage of their one border area to counteract pink's one border area. But now white goes, and we're going to see something crazy right here. As you can see, as this timer is going, white's making a large number of attacks. We also know white and yellow have been enemies this entire game. And because the white player has been so angry at yellow, and yellow's been keeping their capital very weak for themselves, we already see it's a leader 2 out of 6. White ends up eliminating the yellow player from the game. But this was a move, I think, in anger, rather than something I think that was really good. I mean, yellow still had a lot of troops. Also, the green player is guaranteed to be having a set right now. C Money saving on 4 ended up being the crucial game-deciding move. Look at this play right now. White is hoping that no one can take them out, but C Money's doing all the right plays, sliding back and forth, moving around. Small mistake, I would have attacked into Trieste, because now he's to fortify some troops backwards. But honestly, this pathing is nearly perfect. Look at the speed and the dexterity of C Money going for this move. And now white is 100% dead now. This was an absolutely beautiful move, and now C Money is going to be getting 5 cards, a guaranteed trade-in, and a set on the next go-around. The one thing he has to watch is the pink trading in and doing a lot of potential damage. He needs to, I think, try to remove a lot of blue around the board, and he needs to get ready to hold his position down. So he breaks everything of blue, and he keeps 3 strongish capitals for himself. Now, with pink trading in, they could take 1 capital. I would have probably prioritized the Germany capital over anything else, because, again, the 2-point hold over half the map was a little bit stronger, rather than the point hold over the Russia territory. But again, just very small semantics. C Money's been playing a beautiful game right now, taking advantage of these unique blizzards and really counteracting his opponents. This has just been beautiful, beautiful stuff. Now, the blue player is just attacking haphazardly and aggressively into C Money. Again, they just don't know what they're doing. They're just trying to say, don't attack me, when they're the one that initiated the war. This is a very silly move. C Money now has to balance between attacking the blue player as well as going up against pink. What I would do if I was C Money is I would attack everywhere around the board except for this one area in North Africa, because I know blue cannot trade in, right? Because they are on 2 cards. I would try to encourage the pink player who's going to be seeing all this aggression right now. I would want them to be trying to kill the blue player, fail, and then I try to then take out the blue player myself. So we can see C Money going for this play right now. But you also, okay, so they made a small slider mistake, but they do take out that spot in the Africa. A small mistake, but honestly, given how weak the opponents have been, this is honestly pretty good right now. Now, pink does have the trade in 18 troops. I may have wanted to consider breaking the France bonus to avoid them getting too strong. But pink is just so overwhelmingly powerful right now. But pink made a huge mistake as well, again, not leaving any exterior troops down here. Imagine if there was like a spot here in North Africa where blue was located. The green player would be in such a strong position for themselves. Now, pink is guaranteed to be having a trade-in, and C Money has to decide whether to do how to trade in. And if I was C Money, I would trade in here, because we know that they're not on France, so if we can just hold this position down for ourselves, we're going to be more than fine. And that's exactly what he does. With the trade-in, he now holds, but he doesn't open up the capital, which I think is so important. So even though the pink player has a set, he has reverse noob cornered the pink player. 70 over 147 is an impossible roll. Even with that good dice, that's still not enough. That is going to be a GG right there. C Money's played a nearly flawless game. This was absolutely beautiful stuff. Guys, this guy is so close to 1,000 subscribers. Make sure to subscribe to this man. He is a legend. And here are the freaking capitals this game. Oh my gosh, this is incredible. I am so happy to be watching some Tutor Tuesday, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this as well. This is OliveXC signing off.